Hi, my name is Lindsay Anderson, and I am choosing to discuss about physical education within high schools. Education is something I personally can relate to because I believe that our society needs to take a better look at themselves and when is that them, their child, or a friend has lost themselves by reaching obesity. My major is health and exercise science, and with the experience that I have with fitness and health and the research that I have been doing over the past 2 weeks, is my realization on how middle and high schools have been overlooked and taken as a joke to students, teachers, and parents. However, throughout my research, I found out that I am not the only one who believes that we need a change with our physical education program. I have learned to realize that majority of teachers, students, and parents see the true meaning in physical education. I found in my research that multiple school districts are trying to change their programs by motivating their students in physical activity by giving them a variety of activities that will hopefully interest all students. I would like to talk about my research process, where I found 7 different articles where some had different studies about the issue of physical education. I found that all my articles were very useful to me and gave me a better understanding of the dispute of physical education in middle and high schools. This is a hard topic to talk about because you have to consider how many schools there are out there and how they differentiate their school system, although a majority are roughly in the same process. The articles that I read gave me a better idea on the new approaches the physical education programs are giving to the students. But they also showed me a negativity towards the physical education program, based on students having a negative attitude and how some students are waived from the physical education credits. From one of my articles, it was based off of how educating students off of a website will help them learn and acknowledge fitness and health. This promotes the physical education department and aid in students' learning. This new education process sounds like a successful program to me because looking at their generation technology is an extremely popular database. It will also open up our communication amongst the students, parents, and faculty so they can get a better understanding of what students are learning. I feel by having the website, it will open up everyone's minds toward the idea of fitness and health and the importance of it. There were many more articles that I read about how there's a positive approach on changing the system of physical education in a better way that gives students more variety of activities that may interest them more, which motivates them. With this variety, it encourages them to try new things, and if they end up liking it, then they may be encouraged to keep doing that activity. We want to keep them open minded and constantly learning new things rather than being repetitive. I find it extremely important for variety, not just basing off of sports, but however, like CrossFit, kickboxing, weightlifting, strengthening, multiple games that involve everyone. By doing this, we challenge them to succeed in something they wouldn't think they would accomplish. Also, the skills that they are learning, they may take that information and use it after they graduate. By informing the importance of health and fitness, it is accomplishing the reduction in cardiovascular risks. We are helping for the future of their health, and this is the main reason why I find physical education highly important. Putting it in their minds at a young age will encourage to keep themselves motivated and active. There are so much positive things about this topic, and overall, I find that majority are on the right course of keeping an open mind in improving physical education. However, I do need to acknowledge the negatives of this topic because I found some useful articles that approach why physical education has fallen apart, and that there are students, parents, and teachers who find physical education pointless to have as a requirement. I understand that once you're in high school, that your core curriculum classes become important because your grade in those classes reflect towards your college choice. I have met and read how many students find that they have no time to take a PE class because they need to start preparing themselves for college. However, I and other people believe that they don't have interest nor the motivation to even try. Also, why take the PE class if equipment is outdated or that your friends aren't even in the class? or that you feel like you already did activities last year. What's the point, right? This is why school districts need to change their students' minds so they understand the purpose of physical education. This is where multiple activities need to be approached because it can possibly interest them to try something new and encourage them to be physically active. Also, I believe in asking the students' opinion on what they want to see in physical education and what they would like to do in class that is physically active, that interests them. There is one article that I would like to point out because I personally was shocked by it and never knew that certain students were waived by physical education class. The reason why these students are waived is because they are affiliated in sports teams. I understand a small reason why they believe they should be granted this, but they aren't achieving the full learning experience of physical education. They are missing the whole point of physical education, because although a sport keeps you physically active, it doesn't teach you other physical activities. Plus, they are not getting the motor skills and understanding cognitive concepts related to the performance of physical activity. Playing a sport is a whole different experience from physical education. Lastly, I would like to finish this video by saying this whole research process made me realize how greatly important high school physical education is. I am truly grateful that my high school proved me with a variety of how to keep yourself physically active and healthy. If I did not have this, I would not be studying this as my major and using what I learned in high school still. It gave me an open mind of physical activity, and I found what I enjoy most when it comes to exercise. I hope I can teach and help students, parents, and teachers the reason of physical education. They need to understand we are bettering the students for a healthier and more active future. Thank you very much.